let's talk about tuners. So we use our tuners to help us make sure that we are playing the correct note with the correct sound. Now, we all play instruments in band, and you would think because we just put our fingers down on keys or on the right valves that then the right note would happen. But we can also control the way that our instrument sounds using our embouchure, which are our lip muscles, and our air. So we use tuners to help us see our sound to make sure that we are always playing the right note. So what does our tuner do? Our tuner acts as a listening ear and listens to what we play and tells us what letter note we are playing. And remember, all of our notes can be sharp or flat. So it can be A flat or A sharp, or it can be B flat or B sharp or just B. We have all of those different options for notes. Now, you can use a tuner as an app on a smart device, you can use a website tuner, or you can go to a music store or online and you can get an actual tuner. Now, while our tuner is listening to us play, there's a thing called a needle that goes back and forth as you are playing a note. Now, if the needle is right in the center, that means that you are playing the note exactly at the sound it should be. If it falls to the left, it means your note is too low, and if it goes to the right, it means your note is too high. Here's what your note will look like if it is too low. If our tuner is telling us that we're too low, the first thing we need to do is double check that we are using enough air. Our instruments require a lot of air, so what we need to do is make sure that we're sitting up nice and tall with our feet flat on the floor so that way we can take a nice deep breath before we play and use our air. Next, we need to talk about our embouchure. For my flute players and my brass players, what you're going to need to do is make sure that the corners of your mouth are nice and tight. For my flute players, then make sure that that aperture hole is nice and small for the note that you're playing. For my brass players, you need to make sure that your embouchure is nice and firm and that your lips are flat against your teeth. For my clarinet and saxophone players, what you need to do is make sure that your embouchure is fully set up. So you can go through the steps again of saying ah, placing your bottom lip in on your bottom teeth, and ah, and then you want to make sure that you anchor your top teeth down on top of your mouthpiece and bring your corners in from saying E and oo. If that helps bring up your pitch and it still needs to come up some more, make sure that your tongue is high in the back of your mouth if you play clarinet, like you're saying the word ick. Just like your needle can go all the way to the left, it can also be up on the right. And this means that you're playing too high, as you see here. Take a listen. You're playing your note too high. We need to check out what's going on with our air and with our embouchure. So for our air, it might mean that you're doing something called overblowing or using too much air. So think of your air like water coming out of the faucet. Just turn it down just a little bit and see if the pitch comes down. Also double check your embouchure. You might have your corners of your mouth too tight, or you might be holding on too tightly to your mouthpiece. So check all of those things to see if you can bring your pitch down. Now, you might experience your tuner needle rapidly going up or down or pitches changing. And this could be because you are not maintaining a steady stream of air, or your embouchure is not holding steady either. So what you need to do to fix this is make sure that you're using consistent air, like, and take your finger and show that your air is coming out of your mouth nice and steady as you form your embouchure. Or you can hold a piece of paper in front of your face and blow using your embouchure and make sure that that paper stays away from your face. You also want to double check that your embouchure muscles are being nice and strong. If you've been playing for a while, they might be tired and they might need a break. Or if you haven't been playing, sometimes you just need to power through and make sure that you're holding it nice and firm while you play. And finally, this is what a note looks like when you play it in tune. You want that needle right in the center on the number 0, or your tuner might turn green, or it might light up green. That is what you want. Happy practicing.